El Bandito, where we are today, was the brainchild of me and a guy called Matt Farrell. After seeing a trend of rum decline over many years and our love for agave spirits grew, we decided to open our own mezcal and tequila bar. Well, I think this concept, more than any of my others, apart from my original bar, which is Street which is upstairs, they were built out of sheer love. We didn't build this bar thinking that, oh, it's going to make me fortunes, and I didn't think it was going to be like, it was going to change the world. We made and designed this bar based on the fact that we loved mezcal and tequila so much, and we really wanted to be able to express that to the general public. And because with our first concept, people tend to trust us so much and like us, we thought we could lead people down that path to another product, that being agave in general. And yeah, it seemed to work, and it was convenient because it was right next door. And it used to be a newsagents down here, which was very, very moody newsagents. It was just like this married couple who was so strange, and you kind of got the feeling that they were waiting for us to buy them out for years. So basically, after a phone call from my dad one day, he was like, I'm going to go downstairs and buy them out. Cool. So, needless to say, I've drank a lot of bars over the years. I've done a fair amount of travelling as well. So both me and Matt have done our own little efforts, gone places and things, and then I went to, where did I go? I went to New York, I think when I was 28. Met a guy called Phil Ward. He was working in a place called Maywell. Maywell is actually, it's sadly closed down really recently, or is closing down. I don't know if it actually has closed down or not, but so it was on a road called St. Mark's Place. I think it's on there. Anyway, it's in East Village somewhere. And yeah, I went in there and it was very, very much a Mexican, but however, it was a Mexican restaurant as well as a Mexican bar. And when I got there, it was very romantically reminded me of what I would imagine like a really, I don't know, like a bartender's vision of a Mexican bar would be. Because bars in Mexico don't tend to look like this, and they don't tend to be very good, if I'm being honest. A lot of the bars you do go to in Mexico don't focus around tequila very much. It's more focused on, it's, you know, it's a bar. It's just, okay, tequila so happens to be made in Mexico, but they don't make that the focus and forefront of the, you know, of what their offering is. They would still offer, you know, American whiskies, beers, all that kind of stuff. But you do get, you know, the odd tequila bar in Mexico. But yeah, I just went there and I was like, right, yeah, this is, I did think this would work. It works in New York. Okay, Liverpool's a far cry from New York, but I thought, well, it's worked here on the international platform very well. And then after seeing a few other places, you know, Cafe Pacifico down in London, La Perla in London, which sadly closed down as well. Not a good trend for mezcal places and tequila places closing down. Well, this originally, actually I don't know what right, this building was actually two buildings knitted together. So the corner building used to be a dairy, and I always get the guy's name wrong. Oh, I can't remember the name. So it was like Something and Sons, the dairy, and I had to go down to the archives at Liverpool Library to find out what the first purpose of the building was. And that was like, yeah, so next door we have the $5 shake, which is an ice cream milk-based cocktail and served in a milk bottle. And it was kind of really nice to go back and revisit what the original purpose of the building was. However, this was a residential property, and believe it or not, the room above us, a guy used to live there who hatched the plot to kill Prime Minister once, and he was hung for treason.
Gosh.
Yeah. So whether or not I've repurposed the space for what it originally was, I don't know, but you know, this probably was just a cold storage or something. I mean, it is tiny. I know you can't turn the camera around, but you can literally only fit 40 people in here, and that's all the 5 egg state, and I think they're pushing it when they said that. So, you know, it's one way in, one way out. It's very, very small. Okay, so the reason why all my bars are small stems from when I was a bartender. And you know, I worked for very big companies. I've worked for Living Ventures, I've worked for Hard Rock Cafe, I worked for TJ Fridays, and I worked for some small companies as well. And I think what I realised with such a varied career in bartending, I realised that, you know, one of the things that a lot of bars don't do is don't trust the people making the drinks. Now, I don't blame them, because, you know, 9 times out of 10, the average bartender who's working in a bar isn't doing it as a career. They see it as a means to an end for doing something else. You even get bartenders these days that it's a means to an end because they want to own their own bar, and then as soon as they get their own bar, they don't work behind a bar anymore. Well, anyone that knows me will tell you that I worked in my own bar for a good 2 years, and I'm working one of my own bars now. You know, even though I don't have to, it's something that I feel very passionate about, and I do like doing it. And I do see everyone that comes into my building as one of my guests. You know, they're paying, you know, money into my till, and, you know, good times or bad times. You know, I do care about what happens when they're here. That does come across, because I make sure every member of staff of mine knows that, you know, okay, they are your guests at the time, but ultimately when they put the money in the till, they're a guest of mine. You know what I mean? They're coming here expecting a certain level of service and a certain level of product. So when it comes down to small bars, we wanted to put the trust in our own bartenders and ourselves, and we thought the only way of doing that was to make everything controllable from behind the bar, which only happens if really you're a small bar. So if you're a small bar and you can only fit so many guests in, there's only so many things that can go wrong, and therefore it's low risk. You know, you can control the music yourself, you can control the glass wash machine yourself, ice machine, you know, everything's like really at hand, very close. It was just all, you know, a matter of risk. We didn't want to risk it big and open a massive venue. You know, I look back at it now, and I've seen some venues that are doing very well in Liverpool that I could have got very cheap, and I just go like, you sometimes go, oh, might have would have took that, I've been doing like, you know, 60 grand a week in that venue, but I'm happy with what I've got. So, you know, actually I'm more than happy, I'm delighted. This concept especially, you know, does have legs, and it's gone from different cities, it's done pop-ups, it's done takeovers, it's had, you know, a good little residency in London that did very, very well. Made me quite happy, and, you know, it's given me some good times, so yeah, I can see why people like coming here, and the small aspect of it, I think, creates the good atmosphere, and it's much easier to control, and I think that's probably one of the reasons why people do come.